What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Three Man Weave. We are here in our first episode of the new year. Welcome 2019, and welcome to my guests, Shamar Johnson and Nican Robinson. Hey, cheers, guys.
Cheers. Chain back.
Yeah, we're back. We got Nican's rookie chain. We got some more wine, and we've got a great show on tap here this month, this January. Yeah, we're into the new year, and Shamar, we know each other from your time at LMU. So yeah, first of all, thanks for just coming on the show and joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
And Nican, of course, you're the
going,
official co-host of Three Man Weave. Yeah.
Appreciate you having me back. Whatever, man. Just keep on going.
So we're here, ready to talk some basketball. Shamar, let's start with you. Obviously, so we know each other from your time at LMU, but you've had really an interesting path in your collegiate career. Even before that, you played football and basketball. Mm-hmm. You almost went to Louisville to play football. Ended up going junior college route to get to LMU. Right. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you ended up at LMU to play Division I college basketball.
It was definitely a grind. I would say definitely a grind. Playing JC ball, it's pretty tough. Coming from the Panhandle Conference where you got good competition. Chipola, Northwest Florida, Tallahassee Community College, where a lot of the D1 guys come down and a lot of them go up to D1. So it was definitely a grind. I had to work very hard every day to get myself in shape, to get myself just get my skills right to get to LMU. But I did a lot of work in the summer where I made it to the muzzling camp, top 100 muzzling camp. And when I got there, I seen the competition around me and the guys that was, going to these major D1s, and it just gave me the push and the drive to get in the gym and make my way up to D1.
Yeah, and that's something that the casual fan wouldn't know a lot about, is just the junior college route. You mentioned there's a lot of guys that work their way up from that level to get to D1. Some, when they're transferring schools, go down and come back up. Right. So what's that competition level like when you're kind of knowing that you're working for that extra goal of going up the next level?
And it's tough because you got guys that's in the same boat, and it's kind of like when you got guys that's as good as you or better, coaches they're looking for the best in the group. So you got to work your butt off every day, and you got to push others to to be able to push you to get better. So it was very tough, but I love the grind, and I love, every bit of them 2 years I played JC ball.
Man, Louisville must have been mad when you told them you wasn't coming.
Man.
Yeah, what's the story
with
that?
You turned down the bird. You turned down the corner.
It was.
Well, you committed to play tight end and defensive end for Louisville, right?
Yeah. It was tough, man. It was a tough pick, coming out of high school, top defensive end player and top tight end. It was a hard pick, Then when I told him I'm going to play ball, I got a lot of negative.
Was it like a? Did you hear the click and you was like, hello?
Oh man, no! I actually had to do it face to face. Ooh. Because they came down to the school.
Dang.
Yeah, because they used to call me out of school all the time to see me and everything like that, and it was getting close to signing and stuff like that. And they was like, man, what you gonna do? And I had a couple other schools that I was thinking about, but I was like, man, I'm just gonna go play JC ball. And they told me like, you looked at me for a minute like,
I was looking crazy.
Yeah, you could come play this sport and make millions and easy because of my size and everything like that. And he was just like why? And I was like, man, it's my first love. I can't take that away. I can't take that away. So. And then I felt that I was better in basketball than I was in football. But everybody always told me, it's like, man, you better than football or you basketball. But, I think just because of the size, and definitely, coming from Florida where we, Pensacola, we breed football.
Yeah.
So it was definitely, even my head coach was, he was on me, Yeah, because, he was kind of, directing me to Louisville and stuff like that. So it was very, after that, I got a lot of heat. Reporters and all,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, but you did follow, like you said, your love of basketball, and you ended up making it to a D1 school and being a starter for 2 straight years. So what was that like for you?
Man, first, when I got to D1, when I went back to Pensacola, I told everybody, hey, I made it D1, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, all that stuff y'all was talking about, it kind of could go out the window now, you know.
Squash it.
But, man, it was like just a lot of pressure on my shoulders before, you know, getting to D1 because, you know, I was telling myself, man, sometimes you should have went to play football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my first year at JC, I didn't get a lot of, you know, looks and stuff like that. So when I got up here and, you know, I got to LMU, it just felt like I made it.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's just college, but it felt like I was in the NBA or something.
Shine where you got to.
Yeah, man. It was definitely, I'd just say the best feeling ever. You know, just knowing you made it D1, because not a lot of people could say they, you know, made it D1.
Right.
Yeah, and made an impact. So
Right,
starting player both years.
Exactly.
Right.
And Nican, we've talked about you. You obviously played at UCLA and Cal, so 2 D1 programs, but you also you switched programs. So what was that like when you decided to make the change and go from UCLA to
It's
Cal?
like a breath of fresh air. It's like a breath of fresh air. New program, new beginnings, new people, new players, new everything.
Yeah.
I was close to home, so that was very special, and the opportunity to truly compete. That's all you can ask for.
And was that the reason, just to want to be closer to home and
It was less home and more so I just wanted to compete.
Yeah.
I
wanted the chance to
compete more.
play? Yeah.
Wanted the chance to play because I walked on to UCLA, so
Mhm.
and you know, it was cool. They asked me if I was coming back next year. I was like,
Yeah, it's pretty tough, you know.
So then, yeah, coming up to Cal, it's like, yeah, I get a chance to compete. That is still a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that.
Was there a little extra something in the fact that you
Oh,
stayed in the same conference and got to play against
Absolutely.
UCLA?
And not to mention, I knew all the guys.
Yeah.
So all these guys are my friends. We get a chance to play, or I come down here and work out in the summertime. So, yeah, of course, there's always something. I'm trying to crack whips out of this
Yeah.
thing every single time, and then go have dinner afterwards, whatever.
Yeah.
And Shamar, you obviously played at LMU. Are there any moments that stand out in your career that you think of when you think back on your career as the moment or something that you look back on fondly?
Yeah, that is a lot of moments, man. A lot of good wins that we got. Even getting to play, you know, the top schools like, you know, UConn, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, you know, just a lot of good moments. Just being around, you know, just being able to be in this West Coast Conference.
Yeah. And it's proven to be a strong conference as time goes by.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of people, man, they sleep on the West Coast Conference. You know, I mean, you know, you got Gonzaga.
Literally, because they're on the East Coast, they're sleeping with the games.
None of you are watching the WCC games. None of you.
Yeah. But you know, you got Gonzaga, you know, St. Mary's, that's always up there, you know. But you know, this year, you know, you got San Francisco, you know, LMU making some noise, and
San Diego.
yeah, San Diego making some noise, and they had a good win against Colorado. I caught that game, and they making some noise in the West Coast Conference.
Well, you obviously played for Coach Mike Dunlap, who had time in the NBA. He's been all over the place, and he's known for being a great developmental coach. He can be very tough sometimes. What was it like for you to play for him, and how did you feel about his style and how it worked for you?
I'd say for the first year it was definitely tough, and I could say for anybody that's going somewhere new, you know, it's going to be tough. You know, you got to learn the system, you got to learn the coach, you got to learn what he wants. But after year 2, you know, I started getting it, and you know, started getting close to Coach Dunlap. You know, I was the captain of the team, so you know, me and him would have our meetings and you know talk. So after year 2, we got real close.
Yeah.
And it started, you know, I started understanding, you know, from the seat he had to, you know, sit in and what he had to do. And I just started, you know, looking from his point of view, you know, how things should go. Definitely could be a tough coach, you know, to play for. But a lot of guys, they just don't, nowadays, you know, kids don't really, when you got a tough coach, they don't really like it. You know, they shy away from tough coaches, but you need it, you know, it helps you in life, not just in, you know, basketball. And that's what Coach Dunlap, you know, did for me. He helped me in life, you know, he helped me, you know, see other things, you know, that I wouldn't see as a young man. So, you know, he kind of helped me become a man.
Yeah, and like you said, you might not know it at the time, but especially in the college game, these coaches giving you that system and that structure. If you buy in, a lot of times it breeds winning, which we're kind of seeing. We've seen it all over the college game with other coaches as well.
Yeah, man, and then, you know, you just for the older guys, they gotta buy in. If you don't, the young guys are looking at you.
Yeah.
So if you could just buy in and just do what the coach wants you to do, and just ride with them.
Yeah.
You just gotta ride with them. Wrong or right, you just gotta ride with them.
Very LeBron-esque. just ride. Just listen. Buy in.
Buy in.
I've got the ball. Buy in.
Yeah, he knew what, he was coaching for, 30 plus years, he's been doing it for a long time, you know. When, like I said, young players come in, man, you've been playing for what, maybe 12, 10 years?
Yeah.
We don't know nothing compared to what these coaches know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just know playing.
That's it.
They know way more, basketball is all about strategies.
Yeah.
That's what they know. So you just got to feed into it.
Yeah, and for both of you guys playing at high-level programs and even with teammates and opponents, we talk a lot about the NBA on this show. You played against guys that made it in the league or in there now or have been in the past.
Yeah.
What do you think about when you see those guys on TV and knowing that you've competed against them or have been teammates with them, in your case, Nican, but how does that feel for you guys?
Happy for him. Absolutely elated.
Yeah.
And there's little things in the back of my mind of like, oh yeah, he's gonna go left and cross over here, and where he wants to get is that spot.
Mm-hmm.
From whether it be scouting reports or playing against him, like
Right.
I actually know it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's funny, you could put on different armor, but you're still the same person underneath.
Yeah.
And like I know the spots that you actually want to get to. I'm watching from a screen, so I can't do anything on the floor. But
Yeah.
but like it's funny because it doesn't change.
I'll say, is there any like competitive thing in the back of your head where you're like, hey, I shut this guy down one time back in the day?
I'll never admit that.
I guess
those are things we don't talk about.
That's for the inner monologue. I get it.
Yeah, that's just look at the eyes. It'll let you know everything. Yeah, no, I'm elated. I don't go there with it.
Yeah.
I'm just like I know where this person's going. I'm like, oh wow, they developed that. Cool. They're still in the same spot.
Yeah.
They got to their spot, but the method of which they used to get there, they've got some new moves to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I know they want to go to that spot.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take that time to transition now into the NBA because we do love to talk about that on this show as well. There's so many things around the league to talk about, but let's start somewhere that I think people are still skeptical just because they've always flame out in the playoffs. But Toronto, number one in the East, playing really well. We've got Kawhi Leonard, of course. What have your impressions been of the Raptors and his addition to what they've done?
Man, for me, the defense.
Yeah.
Man, their defense is crazy. Everybody is swarming around. You got guys, moving their feet. You got the bigs walling up real good. Then Kawhi just coming over doing what he do best.
Yeah.
It's just I love their defense.
And Nican, what about you?
The greatest thing, controversial statement here. The greatest thing that Toronto did was trade DeMar DeRozan.
I think it was a smart move. I know it could be unpopular
Greatest thing.
to trade one of your
Greatest
more popular players, but Kawhi, I think unquestionably is a better player. And if he happens to leave, it kind of would be time anyway, and then you have the cap space to start tear things down and
And I
rebuild.
hope he doesn't because I'm a diehard Warriors fan. I live, breathe, and bleed it.
Yeah.
I bleed Warriors. They are going to give my Warriors a run for their money.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's any other team coming out of the East that has what Toronto has. And they were already close enough, though they kept on flaming out, they were already close enough. Adding two pieces like Danny Green and then bringing in Kawhi Leonard, you have a resurgence in Serge Ibaka, no pun intended. You got Siakam, who's playing well. You're bringing Anunoby off the bench. DeLon Wright, who's doing his thing.
Yeah.
CJ Miles is
Fred
a
Van
conscious
Fleet.
Fred Van Fleet.
Yeah.
These guys are dangerous. They go in, out, they run, they defend. They got a half-court game that's just... They're smart. They hustle.
Yeah, and I think
it's
the
gonna
one
be
thing,
for
like you
money,
mentioned
man.
about their defense, I actually got a chance to see them live. I was in Portland a few weeks ago and got to see them play the Blazers. And just their length on which makes their defense so great. You mentioned the guys like Ibaka, Siakam is a tremendous defender.
6'8".
Kawhi, of course, is
6'9".
one of the best defenders.
yeah.
And everywhere on the court, Danny Green, outside of Kyle Lowry,
Right.
is just long, quick arms everywhere,
Right.
and that allows their defense to be so successful.
Yeah, man. Kyle Lowry, man, is just That guy's a baller, man.
Yeah.
He's a baller, man. I love watching him play. You know what he does. You know, from the long passes to the threes to the playmaking. He definitely is fun to watch.
On both sides of the ball, offensively. So the thing you talked about, you have length, but then you have this one guy that you let loose that's a terror and plays like he's 6'6", 6'7", but he's not, obviously. But he's just a terror, and he's smart, and he's a general, and he lays his body on the line, and it's effective in a different way than when DeMar DeRozan was there.
Oh yeah.
That was the best thing they could have done.
Yeah.
Well, one thing too with Kawhi Leonard, do you think that he will leave in the summer, or does that depend on, say, if the Raptors get to the finals, or if they lose, say, to the Celtics or the Sixers or someone in the playoffs? Is it contingent on that, or is he staying or leaving no matter what?
Personally, I think he's staying. I feel like it's all working. You know, everything is going great. Why leave?
I want him to stay. I don't know if he will, but I want him to stay.
Do you think is that he want to be there, or?
I think that as he's shown with his with being disgruntled with San Antonio, I think that he would easily look for a better opportunity. I think he's becoming more selfish. He's been known for being the selfless individual, but I think now he is actually coming into his own and being more selfish. And I think that he would look for a bigger market on this side of the border, meaning LA.
I mean, that seems to be the rumor, is LA, because it is near his home. Grew up, he obviously went to San Diego State, was local in Southern California. Do you think one of the LA teams, obviously he's been connected to both, the Lakers and the Clippers, who both have money in the offseason?
If the Lakers, which we'll see about this, but if the Lakers pick up Anthony Davis, he's not coming to the Lakers. I think even if they don't pick up Anthony Davis or trade for him by dropping a bunch of players, which I don't care about that. That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think he's coming to the Lakers. I'd like to see him go to the Clippers. I think that might be something different than what I said earlier in an earlier show.
Yeah.
But I think he would go to the Clippers. I mean, if he did.
I do think if he leaves, that would probably be the most attractive spot, just for it being LA. And there's the rumors that he wouldn't necessarily want to play with LeBron. And while the Clippers are still, they sell out their games and they're popular, the Lakers are going to have more of a spotlight, so that allows him to get the big market, but also kind of the quieter side of it, if it's possible.
Right. Yeah. No, and team him up with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh man.
And Montrezl Harrell.
Oh my God! Drop Danilo Gallinari. Get rid of him. Wow. They would be unstoppable. They would be unstoppable.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens with Kawhi. Do you think the Raptors, on that note, do they get to the finals? You already kind of alluded that you think they will. But
I think they do.
Yeah, I think for sure they will.
I think they do.
So you think they get past Boston and Philly and Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Boston is trending downward.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, they lost what? They lost tonight.
They did lose to the Phoenix Suns.
They lost to the Phoenix Suns tonight. I'm not sure if anybody was injured or whatnot, but something's wrong. Something's going on in Boston.
Yeah.
It's a lot of adjustment from last year's playoffs, where pretty much their whole bench was starting, and now they're getting used to the bench role and basically changing and what their dynamic is.
That's a whole nother topic, but that's one that
Okay, well, let's go there. What are your thoughts on
Boston? The thing is, you have all of these guys. Once again, you have these bench players with something to prove. You got Rozier, you got Jaylen Brown coming off and stepping up into this, coming into his own. You've got what's the young kid, Jason Tatum, coming into his own. Right. You have all these guys essentially with nothing to lose. You've been pushed so far into the season. You have a wonderful record. So what is there to lose? Let's go hard. Let's go hard. We're not going home. Now you've got Gordon Hayward back. He, in the blink of an eye, his season was over. He has something to prove, and he's also worthy of being given that opportunity to prove something. You got Kyrie Irving coming back, who was out last year, but still, directing the ship from the bench. So he's got something to prove. All of this, I think, is clashing.
It's definitely going to take a while. I mean, they did have that, the 8-game win streak before kind of coming back down. So I think they'll still be strong and a deep contender for getting to the finals, especially
semifinals, and then they're done.
Oh, interesting.
Semifinals and they're done. Or no,
one of those two.
One of those two. But Raptors are gonna take them over and go to the finals for sure.
Okay, quickly before we move on to another team, I saw this topic and I found it interesting. if Anthony Davis turns down the Pelican extension,
He's going to.
wait, who has the better package to trade for him? Is it Boston's young guys or is it the Lakers? Would you rather have basically Ball, Ingram, or Kuzma, or Tatum, Rozier, and Jaylen Brown?
Well, I think they would also throw in Josh Hart.
And Hart, but yeah, just any of those combos of those young guys.
For sure, Lakers. I mean, Kuzma, that's been playing since he got into the league, in my opinion, been a big factor for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Ball, you know, he
has that cerebral game.
Yeah, you know, because he's not selfish, but at the same time, you want him to, you know, put up more points and
Yeah.
It's only his second year, though. It's only
yeah.
his second year.
But I was saying though, man, I mean, just for what people was expecting.
Here's my thing, though. You can't expect. My rule is I can't expect anything from you until the end of year 3, maybe beginning of year 4. I have to give you at least 2.5 years to see what you're going to do. I mean, think about it. Last year he didn't have tattoos. This year he has tattoos. I had to let a whole year pass to see what he was going to do.
So next year he'll have the headband.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's too, as far as for Ball? I mean, you know, he came out with the show and everything like that. Is it just too much for him?
I don't think it's too much for him. I think he's very even keeled. He knows what his father. I don't even know how LeVar just popped up on this show, but LeVar Ball, LeVar Ball is going to do what he's going to do. I don't think that Lonzo is swayed either way by that at all. I got to give him 3. I have to give him 3 years to see what it's going to be.
Yeah, I do think his presence or LeBron's presence rather, has helped kind of like put the LeVar thing to the side, where it's just like now we're on basketball business and that's it. But as far as like the 2 packages,
I'm gonna go with the Celtics.
The
Celtics have a better package, I think.
I would lean. I mean, I think the overall package for the Lakers might be better, but Tatum seems to me to be the best piece out of all that. So he seems like he's already on the verge of superstardom, whereas the other guys are all very good. Mm-hmm. But there's some questions with Brandon Ingram if he's kind of regressed a little bit. I don't know.
He's my weak link.
They're all very young though, so as you said, you got to give them time.
Terry though, because he's proven what he can do in crunch time last year.
Terry Rozier.
I'm just saying. So
yeah.
I for me, my meter ticks towards the Celtics. They have the better package for Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis wants to go to the Lakers.
Play with LeBron.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. They're 15. The Pelicans are 15 and 16 right now.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see if he turns down that extension. Some other teams that have done really well. The Denver Nuggets right now are number 1 in the West, even with some injuries to a couple of guys. Isaiah Thomas hasn't played this year. Of course, Michael Porter Jr. hasn't played yet. Will Barton's been out.
Yeah.
Gary Harris has been out for a little bit, but they still keep on winning.
Jokic.
I was gonna say, what makes them so successful?
Jokic.
That guy. I never seen nothing like it.
Seriously.
Seriously. Dude it's just a monster. Like, as far as just what he does, just, you know, offense and his hands and what he can do. Man.
Creativity, his IQ. He's Marc Gasol 6.0.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. Is one of the X factors for the team is Michael Malone. Their coach had an opportunity in Sacramento. They fired him early.
Mm-hmm. When he was winning, right?
He was winning.
They were like,
when he was winning.
8-4 or something, and he got fired.
And then he got fired. You know, the owner of Sacramento. We won't even start on that. But he's also an X factor. What he's able to implement and do with the guys that he has. They're excelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Past my Warriors, which whatever. It's the first third of the season. We have time.
Well, we talked about this last month. We're like, last month it was the Clippers were number 1. Yeah. This month it's the Nuggets. Next month it could be, I don't know, it could be the Warriors probably, but
the Lakers are number 4 in the West.
Man, I love seeing how they just moved up.
I mean, it just goes year after year. You can't count out LeBron, or you can't doubt LeBron. He's just going to keep finding ways to win.
Man, that man is a freak of nature. I mean, what he does on the floor, he's like a general.
Yeah.
You know.
The young guys are kind of starting to get it. Number 1, I love Tyson Chandler being there.
Oh yeah.
I love JaVale McGee giving what he can in his minutes. But I love how the young guys are starting to kind of put it together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had that night a couple nights ago with LeBron and Lonzo. Both had triple doubles.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the last time you saw that. You see Kyle Kuzma, he's excelling. Like, you see all these guys starting to step into their own. This is without Rondo being back. So I don't know what kind of presence he has on the bench, but I love seeing that the young guys are kind of starting to put together. Brandon Ingram might be a lost cause.
Yeah, man.
You see, that might be one of those things where certain players, you hear the thing where they have to learn how to play with LeBron, and he might need the ball in his hands more, and it could be one of those things, or it could be just a killer instinct type of thing. But
Well, he's also in year number 3?
Yeah.
year 3, but also still 21 years old. So I mean,
True, but I
He
gotta
got
go by my
time,
rules.
but yeah, man, nah, because I was thinking about him. I was like, I just don't see it. I don't see what you're bringing to.
well,
the
I
table.
felt the same way too. It's like you want to say give him time, and he could still be a very good player. But there are certain guys where you just see it. Like we talked about Tatum,
Yeah.
you talk about Kyle Kuzma. You just see it right away, and you know.
Yeah.
We've done the rookie watch thing, and some of the guys, Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Those guys, you just see it right away.
Right.
Certain guys take longer, but it's a little troubling, at least on the Ingram front, that he's kind of like coming back to earth a little bit.
I can't even see it in his skill set. Like I don't see it. I do not see it.
Yeah.
High volume shooter, but not very effective in picking his spots. Hit the spots that he does pick. He's jacking up shots, tough fadeaways, like he's not actually getting easy points or finding ways to get easy points and making himself effective. So I'm trying to figure out what are his skill sets.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not paying you to shoot, fadeaway jumpers.
It's a lot of average to slightly above average skills, but nothing great in one area.
Right.
Nothing great at all.
Yeah.
Josh Hart is better.
Josh
Oh,
Hart,
yeah, for
looks
sure.
great.
For
sure.
One more note on the Nuggets, who are our cameraman, Joey. He's a fan of. Shout out to Joey in the Nuggets. Jokic jumps about as high as this kind of line, and he's still incredible. So
He know how to use his body, man.
and he can shoot and pass. Yeah,
Yeah, that's one thing. I could definitely say for me, I probably jump the same height. But you got to know how to use your body and you know how to use angles and stuff like that. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
He got a big frame and he know how to use his body.
Yeah, no question. So this show goes by quick, unfortunately. We got to start wrapping it up.
Doncic.
But before we do, I know we got Nican's rookie chain. We'll get to that next month. But Luka Doncic continues to ball out. Also, shout out to Kevin Knox, who's arrived and looking good.
We were gonna have a Knicks segment.
Yeah, I had to pepper it in there.
Yeah.
But before we go,
Boudier as well. Just want to throw that out.
yeah, I know he's looking good.
Yeah,
He's
he's
looking
good.
great.
Before we go, anywhere we can find you, social media stuff that you want to plug before we get out of here?
Oh, definitely. You can find me on Instagram at Marty_Shamar. I don't really do the Twitter.
And Nican, how about you?
The usual at Nican Robinson, Nican Robinson, all one word. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm on there.
And Twitter, Jesse_Kass, Facebook, JCass15. Or that's Instagram. I said Facebook. Instagram. Facebook is for older people.
I stopped
now,
using
so.
Facebook about 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
So what's wrong?
I mean, I still get on to check and see what people's doing.
you gotta-
but
You be liking, holding down the like button to go to
no,
the
I
angry
can't even
faces.
do that, man. Facebook so old.
That's a whole nother show. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for joining me on the show. I love talking basketball. And cheers one more time. For Shamar Johnson and Nican Robinson, Jesse Kass signing off. Talk to you again next month.